Today I'm going to talk about the front sight 4-day defensive handgun course and all the gear that you're going to need to take with you. I've been to front sight 10 times and I've taken the 4-day defensive handgun class 6 times. Today I'm going to go over all the gear, the gun gear, the clothing, the safety gear that you're going to need, and some things that might be optional. Stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to tell you about something that might help you do really well on the skills test you're going to need. Okay, first let's talk about the hat. A baseball type hat is necessary for basically 2 reasons. One, they're going to make you put your name on the front and the back so that the instructors can call you by name, whether they're behind you or if you're facing them. The other real important reason is when you're shooting on the line, your neighbor's brass is going to be coming and hitting you and landing on your head. Or you want to wear glasses that are rated for sports, strong enough to deflect a piece of brass flying from your neighbor's gun into your face. These are prescription glasses. You want to be able to focus on your front sight. So you need to wear glasses that allow you to focus right on this front sight at arm's length. Okay, now we're going to talk about the shirt that you wear. Obviously you want to wear a shirt appropriate for the weather. Even though it's hot in the desert during the day, it can be very cool at night. The mornings can be a little chilly, so you might want to bring some long sleeve shirts to put over your short sleeve shirts so you can take them off as it gets warmer during the day. So the shirt that you wear needs to be able to tuck in completely. When you go to holster your gun and your shirt is all like this, you're going to have problems holstering your gun. If that material gets caught up in here in the trigger guard and you go to holster it that way, that gun may likely go off. I wouldn't recommend a shirt that's got a whole lot more material down low that you got to tuck in, because that's going to be hard to keep control of that. Okay, so now I want to talk about pants. Any pair of pants really is going to work. I highly recommend tactical pants for a couple of reasons. One of the things you're going to be doing a lot of is tactical reloads. Tactical reload, simply removing a depleted magazine, stowing it in a pocket, grabbing a new magazine, and putting it back in the gun. So you need to have a pocket that you can quickly put that in there and grab another magazine. If you're wearing jeans or pants that have tight pockets, you're going to have a difficult time with this drill. There's going to be many times in the course where you're going to be up on the line shooting a lot and your ammo is going to be back at the chairs. So you want to be able to carry a lot of extra rounds on you. With most tactical pants, you've got pretty nice big pockets. So you want to be able to put a very large amount of rounds in there. So when you're up on the range, you don't have to keep walking back and forth to get yourself more ammo. It's footwear. You're going to be on your feet all day. It's gravel. It's the big kind of gravel that you're going to be walking on. You're going to be doing a lot of walking back and forth. These are the shoes you're going to see a lot of at front sight. They're just a really good quality. They're Merrells. These are the Moab model, and they just have a really great solid sole on the bottom. Let's start talking about some of the gear that you're going to need. Now, absolutely mandatory at front sight and probably at all training schools is going to be electronic ear protection. If you're not familiar with electronic ear protection, when you put these on, they take batteries, you turn it on, and it actually can amplify the sounds around you. When there's a very sudden loud noise, the electronics cuts that out. So it actually protects your hearing from the gunshots, but also when there aren't gunshots happening, you can hear very, very well. So these are required so that the staff knows that you can hear them and all their commands. These are one of the best made on the less expensive side. These low profile, they don't stick out a whole lot, and they're a little more comfortable than some of the cheaper ones. If you don't have a set of these, never fear, you will need it on the range, but you can rent them there. Okay, let's talk about the gun that you should have. They want you to have a full-size gun of some sort. It's a lot harder to manipulate really small guns. So if you're going to be carrying a small gun in your everyday life, once you learn the basics, when you get home, then you can practice on your actual carry gun. Also, you can rent a gun. I believe it comes with a holster, magazine holsters, and magazines for that gun. You can rent that at front sight if you don't have a suitable gun to take with you. You can take this class with a revolver. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're going to carry a revolver and a revolver is all you have, then bring your revolver. They will make sure that you get trained properly. It's a good idea to bring a spare gun. If you have a spare gun, you have a problem with your gun, you tell the instructor and you'll continue training. So the holster is very important. So what is recommended is a Kydex holster. This is a Blade Tech Kydex outside the waistband holster. Having the proper holster is critical for safety reasons, as most accidents happen, negligent discharges happen when reholstering. You want to reholster without any issue, nice and slow, and you need a holster that stays open so that when you go to reholster, the gun does not get impeded in any way. When people reholster too quickly, or they have a crappy holster and they have to mess around down here, the finger ends up in the trigger guard, and when they go to holster, pushes the finger into the trigger, and next thing you know, you're firing off a round you didn't intend to fire. So you need to have a quality holster that stays open, made of Kydex, for that safety reason. The Blade Tech is going to be molded to fit your gun exactly. It snaps in, it's secure, and yet you can pull it out. Here's a Blade Tech that is made for Springfield. This one is molded to fit Springfield XDM. Okay, magazines. You're going to need to have a minimum of 3 magazines. You're going to want 2 in your pouch, so you need a double magazine holder like I've got here. There are multiple drills that we will be using multiple magazines during the drill. Now this particular magazine holder is a Blade Tech. What I like about this one is it comes on and off pretty quick. You don't have to feed your belt through it every day. This one as well, this is a paddle type. So this kind of snaps onto the belt and snaps off pretty quick. And that brings me to the importance of a good gun belt. They have different types of belts, but I would highly recommend the 511. They're not that expensive. You'll wear it all the time. I just wanted to talk about ammo real quick. The 4-day defensive handgun course requires about 650 rounds of ammunition. If you want to get the most out of the course, you will want to have all of those rounds. Ammunition is expensive right now. You don't have to shoot every single time they're shooting. You can always, what they call dry practice, which is going through all the motions and shooting without actually using ammo and just aiming and pulling the trigger. So you can do that if you get low on ammo at any point and you don't want to spend the money to buy more. They do have ammo for sale on site at front sight, so you'll never run out of ammo. You can always buy more. If you're driving to front sight, certainly you bring all your ammo. If you're flying, you in general can only bring 11 pounds of ammo in your checked luggage. What I usually do is I will bring as much ammo. I'll bring 11 pounds of ammo in my luggage, and then I'll just buy the rest from front sight. That's the easiest way to do it by far. Some of the other gear that I highly recommend is if your gun comes with some kind of an easy loader for your magazines. When you're loading up your magazines, this goes over top. This helps you to load magazine. You're going to be reloading a lot of magazines at front sight, so your fingers are going to get really sore if you're not used to doing this. If you don't have one, I would recommend getting one. The other thing that is optional, but I highly recommend after my 6 classes there, is shooting gloves. But what happens is most people are not used to shooting hundreds of rounds a day. You're likely to get some blisters and some sore spots from all the constant banging and shooting on your hands. So after the first day or so, I would wear my shooting gloves. That would greatly reduce that pain. The other option is to just use Band-Aids. You bring some Band-Aids. They have Band-Aids on site. As soon as you start getting a sore spot, put a Band-Aid on it. Because when it comes to the 4th day and you're taking the skills test and your hand hurts every time you shoot, you are not going to do well. I would bring a very, very basic cleaning kit or cleaning items. All I bring my original gun oil, which is my go-to gun oil for all my guns. It's a cleaner and a lubricant. and I bring a bore snake. So every night you want to give your gun a quick cleaning. Do a quick field strip, wipe it down with paper towels, some tissues, get it clean, put a little lube on it, run the bore snake through the barrel a couple of times to clean the barrel, make sure there's no buildup in there, and then your gun's going to be ready to go. This is a real avid gun tool. Just got a bunch of tools on here and screwdrivers, and just in case something comes loose on the gun. So another item I personally highly recommend, these are dummy rounds. These are just fake cartridges. You're going to learn a bunch of malfunction drills, tactical reload, malfunctions 1, 2, and 3, emergency reloads. You're going to learn those things and you're going to be tested on that. I recommend, if you want to do well, practice these in your hotel room each night. So you're going to be taught how to draw your gun from concealment. So you need some concealment. So especially in the summer, you might only pack short sleeve shirts, but you're going to want to pack either a long sleeve button down, maybe some kind of a light jacket or sweatshirt. I prefer this vest because it's a vest. It's not, if it's a hot day, this can be warm, but it doesn't have sleeves. I'm not wearing a long sleeve shirt. You can take the test without concealment. It's easier, but you won't be able to attain the highest achievement level. All right, so again, links down in the description below. Another important thing to have is some kind of a range bag. Okay, so for the range bag, this is what I use. It's a Maxpedition, and you don't need a fancy bag like this. I'm just going to show you what I keep in here at Front Sight. The all-important sunscreen. I prefer the spray. It's a lot quicker to apply and works great. I got dummy rounds in here for practice at night. I keep my hearing protection there. Shooting gloves. I would have a couple boxes of ammo in here. In this pocket I have my all-important superhero band-aids. You're going to get blisters, so you're going to need band-aids. They do have a good supply there as well. I keep my original gun oil, which I use for everything. Great to have on hand. Over here I've got a multi-tool. And that's about it. Now there's one other item. It's an app that you can get on your phone. I think it costs a few bucks, but it's well worth it if you want to do really good on the skills test. It's called Dry Practice Drill. It's basically a shooting timer. It's going to say ready, set, go, and you can do your manipulation drills, your tap bracks, your malfunctions 1, 2, and 3, and it has the exact times on there that Front Sight uses on the skills test. All right, so that's about it. Please subscribe. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. I will answer every question as best I can. And I have been to Front Sight. I'm going back, and I just love it. The people there are great. The trainers are fantastic. They're not drill instructors. They're there to help you, and they will help you get better, and they will make it worth your time. Thanks for watching.